Instructions off to the side that you can use to enable voice. Because you can see how very slow my typing is. Other than that, I think I'll just get started. First, let me thank you all for coming today. It's great to see such a big crowd, and I know that we're very excited about the launch of Adobe Director 11.5. I know that you may come from all fields, many of you from education, others from training, others maybe just from general public, general interest. Maybe you're just interested in Adobe. And hopefully I'll be able to give you some information to help you understand where we're going with Adobe Director 11.5. I have focused the presentation today a bit toward the education interests. I can talk, however, about the other fields that Director covers. So I'll leave a good bit of time at the end for questions in case there are any, and encourage you to ask them. And other than that, let's take a look at Adobe Director 11.5. To begin with, I'm Dr. Alan Partridge. It's true. Somebody told me once that I should always say, Doctor, you're absolutely free. Please feel free to call me Alan. That's perfectly fine. Everyone else does. You know, a good way to begin to understand Adobe Director is how shockwaves are made. And most people are familiar with Shockwave as an internet plugin technology, as a way that they see games or they see media, they see interactive e-learning, any of those things on the internet. However, fewer people are aware of what technology is actually used to create Shockwave. So Adobe Director is the technology that's used to create Shockwave. It's also software that can be used to create software for Macintoshes and for PCs. And a good way to think of this is that Shockwave is online 3D environments. So when it comes to a web-based 3D environment, Shockwave is the major player in the space. It is, as we'll see here in a second, it is a way to dominate, a way to accelerate, and a way to impress the people who are consuming the products that you make. So I'm going to talk a bit about each one of those things and give you a sense of how the new features of 11.5 fit into that picture. Also, I'm going to give you a sense of what's coming up later this week. We didn't just want to have a launch event in Second Life this week. So last week, Friday, I did a presentation as part of the Virtual World's Best Practices in Education Conference. And this week, Friday, I'm doing a presentation which is a tutorial on how to grab images out of a Flash movie and take those images and upload them into Second Life. And the product of that tutorial will actually be a piece that you make in Director that has the power to grab those Flash images, and then you can use those images and upload them into Second Life. So if you have Flash movies that you want to grab images from, or if you have presentations, any of those sorts of things, you can use any of those things in order to be able to grab Flash images and get them up in World as JPEG images. So let's start with Dominate. Whoops. I pushed myself twice. Sorry about that. There are 491 million, or just shy of 500 million, pre-installed Shockwave plugins on the internet today. That constitutes about 60% of the total number of internet-connected PCs on the planet. So 6 times out of 10, when someone comes to a website that has Shockwave, they will have the Shockwave plugin already installed in their browser. This is a huge number when you consider that Shockwave is the definitive predominant technology for displaying real-time 3D on the web. And really, there's no other real-time 3D plugin that even begins to approach those kinds of numbers. So if you're considering delivering any kind of real-time 3D experience through the internet, Shockwave is the obvious choice. One of the reasons that we've achieved that 60% penetration is because people trust Adobe to deliver great experiences. They've come to know and understand that they'll get great interactive, rich media experiences from Adobe, so we don't have much difficulty with people accepting and choosing to download the plugin. It's also the only prominent plugin with real-time 3D and now 5.1 audio support, which is surround sound audio. I'll talk about that in a bit. And then runtime extensibility, which is one of the coolest features. You may be familiar with runtime extensibility, even if those words don't ring a bell. Runtime extensibility essentially means that you can add on functionality to the software that wouldn't necessarily have existed prior. So, for example, if you went to a museum and you saw a museum installation, and in that museum installation, oh, hang on, oh wait, somebody interrupted me. AWM, prominent. I know there's sound specific one at least, but would love to hear more. Anyway, we'll come back to that AWM because I'd really love to hear about the other plugins out that are meeting those. Yeah, well, at the end, I think, because other people may be interested too. Anyway, so runtime extensibility, if you get out into a museum space or you get into a space where something needs to be installed, or one of the examples we'll see here in a bit today is that it's been extended to be able to use control devices that are non-standard keyboard and mouse and so on. So a lot of those things are huge possibilities that get introduced because of the runtime extensibility. And in fact, here's an example of that. This is a company called Forge Effects, and this is their de-icing simulator. And their de-icing simulator is used by airlines in order to train personnel in how to actually spray down an airplane. So if you've ever been in a plane and it's winter and the wings are iced over, you know that a big truck comes in and has to spray you with some kind of horrible smelling blue fluid. Well, there's actually a training simulator that they built using Director in order to be able to provide advanced training in a safe way for operators so that they could learn what it was like to control the system. It also means that you can accelerate your production. Director still meets drag and drop ease just as it has for many years before. So it's easy to simply drag images, drag text, and combine and composite your various media forms into a single finished application. That's always been one of the huge appeals of Director. It's also easy to extend the functionality to add interactivity, also by dragging and dropping behaviors, bits of script, onto the images and things that you see. It also provides a unified authoring environment. You can author in one place for Macintosh, for Windows, for web, for CD, for DVDs, and for kiosks. So it provides you a lot of opportunity in terms of a way to output your content to a variety of outlets. And finally, it's a powerful programming environment, and that accelerates your development time. Because if you have a special need that you want to pursue that's very particular to your project, you're actually able to get deep into the system and interact with the system in a deeper way than certain other technologies would let you. A great way to impress your clients as well. In this screen you can see this is a shot from a demo that's online, and around the auditorium you'll find links that provide you with an opportunity to go to the Adobe site and download Director for free for a 30-day demo. You can also grab a copy of this. This demo was created by James Newton, and it's really a fantastic demo of the H.264 video and the 5.1 surround sound. He's got several samples in there, and you can see it, play it through, and you can actually get in and look at the code and understand better what's going on.